we're doing a tow test on a Ford Territory TX rear-wheel drive. We've hitched up a 2-tonne van behind to see how well it tows. Ford released the Territory in 2004, and it's a really good design. I mean, they got it right the first time. This is the third version of Territory. They started with the SX model in 2004. They updated it in 06 with the SY, and then in last year, 2009, they introduced this model, the SY Series 2, or Mark II, which has a slight facelift, slightly different nose, some difference in interior treatment, a few different features across the board, but nothing major. Essentially, this is the same vehicle Ford started to sell, 5-6 years ago. And the interesting thing about it is, after having not driven a Territory for a few years, you realise that this is still contemporary. This is still a modern design. They really broke the mould when Ford did this under Jeff Pilates. He did a wonderful job. It was a real masterstroke. It's not hard to pay this vehicle compliments in terms of its interior packaging. It's really well thought out. The way the seats fold, the ample storage space, the controls, the way they're positioned, how easy they are to access, the vision out of the vehicle, nice big side mirrors. They're not elephant ears, they're not huge, but they're not the tiny ones that you see on the Falcon and the Commodore, for example, Falcon wagon at least. And yeah, so just a really nice vehicle. The Territory chassis is really nice and stable with a van hitched up behind. It's hardly moving around at all. It feels really comfortable with 2 tonnes and about 230 kilos on the ball. We've used load levelers, as is recommended by Ford for heavy duty towing, and it's just towing a treat. Some slight bobbing, a little bit of movement, but certainly nothing to be concerned about. It just feels really, really good actually. So the Territory is a good thing. The only fly in the ointment is the Territory's fuel consumption. It's got a 4-litre inline petrol 6-cylinder engine which just chews the fuel when it's under any sort of load. So if you're just cruising along without towing anything, without a big cargo on board on the freeway, you slip down to the low teens in terms of litres per 100. But around town, it's soon up around in the inner city, with a lot of stop-start traffic work. You're easily doing 17, 18 litres per 100. And towing, it's very hard to break under 20 litres per 100 when you're towing, as we are today, around 2 tonnes. The transmission is a 4-speed automatic in the rear-wheel drive Territory, not a 6-speed, which you get in the all-wheel drive. So perhaps fuel consumption might be a little bit better if you were to choose the all-wheel drive option with the 6-speed automatic transmission. So we're sitting at 100 kilometres an hour here on the freeway, and we've got a lot of crosswinds at the moment. It's a very, very windy day. You can see the tops of the trees moving around, and so the Territory is a little bit affected by the crosswinds. You can feel it moving around a little bit, but look, again, this is not unusual for having such a bluff body in terms of its four-wheel drive shape, and having a 2-tonne caravan behind. The engine's ticking along at just under 2,000 RPM, approximately 1,800 RPM here at 100 kilometres an hour indicated. It's a very comfortable driver's seat. It really is an easy vehicle to do the long hauls with. If you've got a big tour to do, if you've got long days to get through to the next stop, you won't miss a beat with the Territory. You just feel really comfortable in here. So we're approaching our test climb here. See how well the Territory gets up this hill. Now we're starting off at 90 kilometres an hour here, and we're going to maintain as much throttle pressure as necessary to try to maintain that 90 kilometre an hour speed. Now it's kicking down, as you may be able to hear. I've now got full throttle and it's just kicked down again. Now I'm back to 90, so I can let it back a bit. Yeah, it's holding it quite easily. Now we're getting into a steeper climb here, and we're going to have to kick down again. temperature needle's not moving. You can hear the engine working hard. It's holding 90 kilometres an hour at full throttle. And now we're going to have to back off as we go into a roadwork zone. That's very good, really. You can't complain about that sort of performance. It's not going to leave you stuck anywhere with any great problems in terms of responsiveness on climbs or overtaking lanes. Well, it's not something we're going to attempt to test right now with a caravan behind. The Territory's got really good dynamics. If you enjoy your driving, you'll love the way that the Territory handles for an SUV like this. It is amongst the best in its class for dynamics, steering feel, cornering. It's all ride comfort. It's all really nicely balanced. There's nothing to complain about here. Now, you may find that really, for you, you're not interested in dynamics, you just want to get around. Well, that's fine, but if you do have a need to make an emergency move, at least then you know that you can do it with the Territory with some confidence that it's going to respond to the inputs that you give it. So in summary, the Territory is a really good tow vehicle. It's got good dynamics, it's comfortable inside, it's got a well thought out interior, its engine's got plenty of performance. It's pretty good value, starting at around $40,000 for this entry-level model we're testing today, the TX rear-wheel drive. The only thing against it is the fuel consumption. If you can live with that, you've made a very good choice. If you can't, well, yeah, you've got to find something else until Ford gets us a turbo diesel version, which they've promised us for 2011. So that's probably another year or 18 months away. I'm Philip Lord. This is the Caravan World Towing Test. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.